Firstly, we will show where does the software maintenance take place in software engineering. Software engineering has many phases. These phases include requirements engineering, architectural design, implementation, testing, software deployment, and maintenance. So, maintenance is the last stage of the software life cycle, after the product has been released and after it has passed the acceptance testing. The earlier phases should be done so that the product is easily maintainable. That means the design phase should be planned, the structure in a way that can be easily altered. And also, the implementation phase should be create the code that can be easily read, understood, and changed. Software maintenance can only happen efficiently if the earlier phases are done properly. IEEE defines software maintenance as follows. Software maintenance is the process of modifying a software system or a component after delivery to correct faults, improve performance, that means to improve quality attributes such as performance, efficiency, interoperability, compatibility, well documentation, friendly user interface, etc., or adapt to change environment. That means to change on hardware configuration or the operating system, as changing the platforms. As we said, simplified software maintenance can be understood as any work that is undertaken after delivery of a software system. The developing department is responsible for providing a complete software which comprises the program, we mean the source code and the object code, the documentation that includes analysis documentation, formal specification, design documentation, UML documentation, the testing data that includes test cases, test suite, test results, and the operating procedures that include installation handbooks and user handbook. As we know, large complex systems have a very long lifetime. During their life, they are changed to correct errors in the original system requirements and to implement new requirements to add them to the system as new services that have emerged. Computers are likely to be replaced with new, faster machines. The organization that uses the system may recognize itself and hence use the system in a different way. The external environment of the system may change, forcing changes to the system. All the previous issues keep the software up to date with environment changes and changing user requirements. Many studies were done to investigate the cost ratio of a new development versus software maintenance. The total cost of system maintenance is estimated to 50% to 80% of total life cycle cost, and they typically consume 65% to 75% of total life cycle costs. One company reported that 60% to 70% was devoted to maintaining interfaces of the software and copying and transformation of data from one database management system to another type of database management system. Another company reported that they are expending $100 million per year in patching programs and fixing errors in data created when passing data from one system to another. Why software maintenance is needed? It is important now to know why software maintenance needs to be done. There are a number of factors that provide the motivation for maintenance. First, it is used to support user requests for improvement. User requests, extension, as well as user requests for modifications. Second, to provide continuity of service. Systems need to keep running. For example, maintenance activities aimed at keeping a system operational include bug fixing, recovery from failure, and accommodating changes in the operating system and hardware. Third, to support mandatory upgrades. This type of change would be necessary because of such things are amendment to government regulation and business rules, such as changes in tax laws will necessary for modification in the software used by tax offices. Also, the changing of the format or changing in the phone numbers or applying new standards such as UML, XML, .com, .dcom, Corba, ActiveX, and WAP. The last factor is to facilitate future maintenance work. It doesn't take long to learn that shortcuts at the software development stage are very costly in the long run. Efficiency improvement is used to make future maintenance work easier. Also, the updating of the document to present the current state of software system is needed to make changes on these documents. Now, let me ask you this question. What are the 4 major problems of software maintenance? The 4 major problems that can slow down the maintenance process are first, unstructured code, the difficulty of the application domain, and poorly designed structure. The second, maintenance programmers having insufficient knowledge of the system. They didn't have analytical abilities and they didn't have experience in maintaining softwares. Documentation being absent, it may be out of date or at best insufficient to depend on in software maintenance. Software maintenance having a bad image, that means lack of suitable tools that can be used to support the maintainer's work. Lack of sufficient budget. The success of the maintenance phase relies on these problems being fixed earlier in the life cycle.